Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Mob Psycho 100, episode 2 of the second season. Yes, we return to this wonderful series, which is hilarious and it has such a good protagonist, such a good boy, and yes, obviously, I know that Mob is such a good boy. And yes, answering one of your comments, yeah, I know One Punch Man failed because they changed the studio in charge. In this case, it was JC Staff instead of Madhouse, and of course, they changed the director, which is I think the hardest change because the director, as I explained in one of my videos in how it all began, if you're interested, I'm gonna put a link in the description if you're interested to see what I have to say about that. But yeah, that is something I am aware. That doesn't change the fact that it's a terrible second season. Hopefully, if they renew for a third season, they brought back the director. I think with that director back, this third season, the possible third season, could be a success, could be really good season, a really good season. But anyway, we are not here to talk about One Punch Man. We are here to talk about Mob Psycho. And yes, the first episode, as I said in the previous video, really fits within the first season. It's a pretty good season, and this was a very good episode. But of course, we're not going to be speaking about that one because I already did in my previous video. So yeah, let's just cut all of this and watch the second episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the second episode of Mob Psycho of the second season. Again, it's very similar to the first episodes of the last season. Obviously, with a different dynamic, we get more characters and very entertaining, which is pretty good. Again, it's the same vibe that I got from the first episode of Mob Psycho, of the real first episodes. I mean, episode 1 of season 1 and episode 2 of season 1. So yes, that is actually a very good thing because it is still providing the same feeling that you got in the previous season. Anyway, I wanted to give a little bit of an analysis of the opening because that is something I completely missed in my last video of Mob. I noticed something that we have a group of psychics fighting another group of psychics. But why is that important? We remember Claw from the last few episodes of the last season. We remember some of the members, the dude who has a sword, which was a plastic sword, the dude who has a, well, the friggin' ellipses or whatever you want to call them in his arms, and they are fighting another group of psychics. Why is important this? I don't know if there is a problem within Claw. I don't know because they seems to be fighting against the real leader of Claw. They seem to be fighting this dude. Is what it looks like. So I don't know. Perhaps that is going to be coming. That there is going to be an inner conflict of in Claw, and they have to fight, or they are fighting between each other. And Mob is going to be caught in the middle of this fight because Mob is able to help one group or the other. And perhaps they're going to try to convince him. I don't know. I am still not sure of what to think about that. But yeah, that is something I noticed. Because I saw the son of the leader fighting another psychic being, power, whatever. Another psychic user. He's fighting against. It looked like he's fighting against his own father. That's what it looks like. Perhaps it's a revenge, and that's why he was disappointed in the few episodes before the season finale. So yeah, that is just a mere theory, and honestly, I have no much information other than the opening. But that is something I wanted to discuss in this one because it's this one in which I pay more attention to the opening. But anyway, moving on to the next part. Now we return to the con artist that is raging, and of course he's desperate because he doesn't have any jobs. So he goes after Urban Legends, and that's when we met another psychic user. I don't remember his name, the fat guy. But of course they are looking for different Urban Legends thanks to the business of a woman that feels that somebody is attacking her not psychologically, is with psychic powers. So yeah, that's why he or she is trying to get help from real psychics. And they are after four urban legends. Sorry, I don't know what the hell happened with me in that moment. And they are looking for four different legends: the human-faced dog, the Dash Granny, that always makes me laugh, the red raincoat, and the Dragger. Three of those were completely false. The dog was just obviously some asshole kids who draw a face on a poor dog of an old man, and I love how Regine is just taking care of the dog. He's very happy to help the dog because yeah, I guess Regine loves dogs, and honestly, I can understand. I love dogs too. The red raincoat is just a pervert who enjoys flashing kids, which is the worst kind of pervert. I mean, seriously, man. Those are kids. What kind of disgusting being are you? And then we have the Dash Granny, which we saw in the end that is actually just a granny that likes to run. That's it. There's no spirit. That's why Mob wasn't able to exorcise her, because she was alive and she just enjoys running. And I love the last gag that Mob is not actually scared of the granny. He's just disappointed in his training because he runs every single day and he's still not able to. Sorry about the storm, but yeah, it's just started. Anyway, as I was saying, he just runs every single day and he wasn't able to outrun an old lady. So yeah, kind of a punch in the ego of Mob, in his physical ego, let's say. The only one who was real and the one that was discarded by Regine at the beginning was the Dragger, which it turns out, yeah, it was born thanks to the imagination of a lot of people. So yeah, that's quite unique, the way they describe this spirit that is actually just born from the imagination of people, and the imagination of the people is what actually feed this spirit. We don't know if it was a real tragic accident, as the legend said that it was supposed to be bullied, and that's why she's so angry and drags every single kid and teenager to, well whatever. It's not only teenagers and kids. Actually, we saw that she dragged a full-grown adult, the pervert, into the lake. So yeah, that's what feeds her. And everybody who has contact with said legend is scared and is feeding her their psychic abilities. So that's why it's so dangerous. And yeah, Mob was capable of destroying her because he doesn't believe in said urban legends. He doesn't care about the urban legends. So that's why. Yes, it is very interesting to have said information about the legends that is not just old spirits, but actually new legends, relatively new, obviously, because yeah, according to Regine, this was something that was from a long, when he was a kid. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So yes, it's genuinely interesting, all the information you get from the show. Obviously, this is just canon for the world of this show, but that's what makes it very, really, genuinely interesting. And I love the fight scene that we saw between the Dragger and Dimple. Well, Dimple possessing the body of the other psychic user. It's very spectacular, very dynamic, something you do not expect from a psychic battle. But it was amazing, and I love the animation they used. They did not overblow the budget because, yeah, you can see that there is kind of a restriction in there because obviously you cannot overblow your budget in just one scene, especially in the second episode of the second season. But it was well managed. The angles were dynamic. The action was interesting to keep you aware of that, to keep you on your toes. Yeah, I love it. The way they use their budget in this animation. They make something really genuinely interesting with what they have, which is something. I said I'm not going to complain too much about One Punch Man, but yeah, I cannot stop comparing it to that. And yes, I know they changed the director and all of that. I will really try my hardest not to mention One Punch Man in these commentaries. Anyway, as I was saying, and yes, I love the sites they visit because they make it more organic. I check it out in the second viewing. I pause when I saw something interesting. I check the forums that we saw. I love the little details they use, that they keep posting and with the happy face, and how they complain about the teachers, how they do. Because yes, those small details are normally not that easily to catch, but it's interesting how they use them to make the world feel more organic, more real. Even if we're speaking about psychic powers and demons and spirits and all of that, it makes it feel a little bit realer. I don't know if that is a correct word. Yes, I love those small details, and I live for those small details. That is what I really enjoy about this show. Because yes, you can do the bare minimum, just not showing all these small details, just put some crap, not even show the site, or just show us the real information that we need and all of that. But I like the show that really does a little bit extra, with not something that is in your face, but is interesting enough for you to get more invested into this world. And those, as I said before, are the details that I love. Again, the characters are great. Every single character is great. Even the new introduced one that started like just the generic asshole, the other psychic that I do not remember the name. I love how they make you like this character that you at the beginning didn't feel anything, because oh yeah, he's attacking our heroes and something like that. But well, he was kind of right, even so. But you still see a progression in character for this, perhaps just a minor character that we saw in the background once, or in the foreground once, and that's it. And of course, the progression of our characters. We know how awesome Raijin is. We know how Mob is such a good boy. And yeah, we know Dimple, that is not the best character in the world. But I love how they portray him, that yeah, he wants to help Mob. He wants to help him, and he wants to prove himself so he can be trusted by Mob. I don't know if his intentions are good or not, but I like this kind of character development for Dimple. And the last thing I want to speak about is the outro. I love the music because it's a very cute song. It's a very non-threatening song, very happy song. I think, in my opinion, it's a very happy song. And I love the little drawings they use, the little kind of chibi drawings. They look cute. They speak about something. They show us the kind of friends that Mob has will get in the time that we saw in the first season, and even in the first episode, the second one. We saw all their friends or possible friends of Mob. We saw how people get attracted to Mob, not just by his psychic powers, but by his personality, because he's such a great guy. And especially, yeah, again, I'm sorry, I cannot go in an episode of Mob Psycho and not speak about the Body Improvement Club. And I love how they are drawn, because yes, they support Mob 110%. Those guys are amazing, and I'm not going to get tired of singing praises to those guys, because they deserve it, and I love them. But anyway, yeah, I think I exhausted the topic of this episode. A really good one. We still don't have much of a story yet. Very similar to last season, we don't have much story yet. But I love these little episodes that show us more about the characters, and it's kind of refreshing and relaxing to see. Anyway, yeah, the only thing I have to say to you guys is thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoy it, and see you on the next one. Bye!
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, give it a like, so the algorithm from YouTube will help me out. And check my other videos, share them, and also why not subscribe to my channel and join this community. And as always, I want to thank you for your attention, your likes, and even your dislikes, your comments, which is something I always look forward to read. And yeah, once more, thanks, and see you on the next one.